Hello, this is Zealeus once again from Ultra Confusion, here to talk to you some more about Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. So as I'm entering, I am running on a chocobo from one point to another. It's like fighting a giant griffin in World of Warcraft. Very exciting. So today I come to you as a level 28 conjurer, whereas last time I was like a level 12 or 13 archer, I want to say. And now I have more stuff to do in the game, because one of the things that always seems to happen in MMOs is you kind of get to like, past level 20 or so, and you don't quite level up as fast, or maybe there's not much to do, or you kind of run out of quest. Final Fantasy XIV tries to address these issues in a couple of different ways. As I go to the Shroud, I'll put my character screen in just a second so you can see a few of the ways to redress these. So if I look at Duty, you can see I have recommendations first off. So these are different quests I can do in the area that you can see. So from level 21 to 24 to 20, I'm on level 20, so I'm probably not going to do a whole lot of those. Thunderstruck. So if I pull up my map, you can see I have, now I see these, now I won. I got this level 23 Thunderstruck. Those you join, they're basically just outdoor groups that you join. They are called Fates, and you do those for experience and serpent skills. Serpent points, I should say. Serpent points are currency that you gather, company seals. They gather to buy loot depending on a grand company that you join, which I can talk about probably a different podcast. And so then you also have leaves. What leaves are, if I find this, so I have this leave meat here. Come talk to this dude. Blah, blah, blah. So I have Battlecraft, Fieldcraft, Tradecraft. Remember the last podcast I talked about how each of the actual gathering and crafting classes, they're actually like their own class. It's not just a side thing, you actually change physically into a different class. So I pick on Fieldcraft, for instance. Okay, actually nothing there. Probably could, let's try Tradecraft maybe? Maybe I'm not high enough level because I haven't done anything in either of those. But you can see I actually have quests for those. And if I click on Battlefield, you can see I have different quests here for level 15. You can see I get rewards and gills. Now the catch is, I have a certain allowance. Right now I have 27 allowances. You only get additional three leave quests a day. So you can't just grind leave quests and ad infinitum. You actually kind of have to ration them out. They're probably really more intended for your alt, because really as the main character, if you do all these quests, like if I did all these quests as this character, as the conjurer, these would not actually show up here. So now when I come back as my next character, say I decide to level up my archer some more past level 14, I would need a quest once I get to level 15, so I could do these. And they also scale +4 plus level. So there's new leave quest every 5 levels. So if I get to level 19 or 18, I could still do these. I just make it difficulty plus level 3 or 4, so it still scales. And then I get rewards, and those are a pretty good way to level up. I've done a few of those. And then if I exit out of here some more, let's see here. I can also run over to another guy for... So as I talked about, I have the serpent under my currencies. You have serpent seals, which you get for, you can promote yourself to get better gear, and all that kind of fun stuff. It's kind of like in Rift, if you partook in Rifts as you're leveling up, you could buy really good gear with the crystals or seals, wherever they call them at that point in the levels. Kind of the same concept in this game. So I click on him, blah, blah, blah. You can see Order of the Twin Adder Leves. Same thing, the allowance, it's cumulative. So leaves go across the board, so it's not like you have separate leaves for your Twin Adders, Grand Company, and separate just for leveling up. You can see I got level 20 and 25 I can take here. Completion bonus, Serpent Seals, because that's really the purpose of doing these kind, is you get the Serpent Seals. So that's one part of leveling up. Now if I go to Duty again, key items, that's just for quest, which you don't really care about. Now Duty Finder, that's the other interesting part. So at the top here you have Duty Roulette. As you can see for Duty Roulette low level, those are really just dungeons at this point. I'm going to assume it changes as I get higher levels, we'll see. You can see I have 5 different dungeons here ranging from level 15 to 24. If I join this Duty Roulette low level, it roulettes any of these 5 dungeons. Now the key is, as you can see, it gives you a pretty nice reward here. It's variable, it doesn't tell you specifically what it is, because it scales. So what that means is level 28, if I join randomly the level 15 Sastasha, obviously I don't want just the experience just from those enemies because that would be pretty worthless to join. But it scales the overall experience you join when you leave and successfully defeat that dungeon through this random experience modifier. So by having this Duty Roulette daily, that kind of gets people to join that randomly daily. And then at the same time, it also keeps these lower level dungeons full because you're randomly joining one of the above, which I think is a pretty cool concept. Now, just to show you the difference, under Duty Roulette Guild Heist, I've already completed that Duty Roulette today. That's one thing I don't like is you get one per day. It doesn't stack. It's not like a Leave where, if you don't do one day, it adds the next day. If I remember right, in Rift, these bonuses, you can collect up to 7. So if you didn't log in for a week, you can log in one day and do all 7 bonuses in a day and you're good to go. This day, it's 1 a day and it's gone. Poof, magic goodbye. You can also see you get a bonus for a tank, which is kind of funny because as a healer, I've never once had to wait for a instance of any sort or kind. So I go to all, you can see dungeons, it lists them over here. It's the same exact idea with the Guildhests. Guildhest, Duty Roulette, totally random for these various ones. That does not include Trial. Trial's basically Guildhests, just a different name. Yeah, it's part of a quest line for your main storyline. Exciting. So that's kind of different things you can do throughout the game. So you get bored, you need to do a little bit of grinding. You can join the Guildhest. So if I go up to my level 25 one, you can see it gives me 2,000 experience. I have 140,000 experience due for my next level. Not a whole lot. So I'm not too big on grinding Guildhest. I try to do my dailies because that gets you a really good chunk of experience. And it also gets me Serpent Seals, which is nice. But just doing them individually, They also don't give experience, which is important. Unlike the dungeon, a little bit more worth it to grind them because you get gear out of those also. Almost all my gear in the game has come strictly now from dungeons. The thing with the dungeons is because each character, my character, if I put my character screen, look under classes, I can do any of these classes. So if I were to join a Guildhest or a dungeon, you can look at the other players' profiles. It's not that uncommon to run and cross characters who have like level 50s of multiples or high levels of multiples. So more often than not, these people run these dungeons so often that they're just passing on all the gear, so you get it all, which is kind of nice. So those are a couple different things to do in the game. I don't have these as my quest over here. So that's kind of my main quest line I'm working on right now. It's kind of nice if I click on map. You can click on here, it tells me exactly where to go, which is pretty convenient. So that's kind of really a couple different things to do the games. You got, quest. These are a little bit low level for me, but obviously I'd probably go to like a level 28 to 30 area to do quest. You got leaves. You got your duty. You got your recommendations. It's going to tell me all these. You got my leaves. You got the duty roulettes. The one other thing which is kind of fun to do, if I pull up logs, I'm going to put my hunting log. If I scroll down here, you can see depending on what level I am, so Conjure level 22, obviously I need to catch up here a little because that's, intended for a level 22 Conjure, is I have different places and it tells me where it is. So Western Thunalon, the foothills, I need to kill a Laughing Toad. I need to kill 2 of them. And 6,500 experience each. Doesn't sound like a lot. I have 140,000, but you do a couple of these, especially in the same area, and you get a whole lot of experience pretty quickly. And you can see 10,000 for the largest one, and you also get a bonus experience chunk for completing this rank. You can also see, Archer. I've completed all these. So I got those. I got for Archer, so each class has their own hunting log. And my Grand Company, the Order of the Twin Adders, I have my own hunting log here where I get a nice chunk of these seals. So that's just another thing you do in the game to kind of keep yourself occupied. The one thing that makes the hunting log kind of interesting, once you get, so I've completed the 2nd rank as a conjurer. If you get to the 3rd rank, so I just hover rank 2 real quick. Central Shroud, the Shroud, the Shroud, the Shroud, Shroud, go down to level 20, the Shroud. They're all in the same geographic area. Archer, Conjure, and Lancer all start in the same area, so all those 3 are all in the Shroud area, which makes it nice. Now if I go to my level 3, as a Conjurer, you can see that's entirely different continent. Shroud, Lanoskia, that's another area again. So sometimes you gotta be a little bit tricky on where to find stuff. You kind of maybe sometimes have to plan, if you're going someplace to knock them out, all that. So here, like I have Southern Thanalan and Eastern Thanalan. So I'm going out to that area. I probably want to knock out both of these hunt logs at the same time. You'll go also see group chat over here. Nueve Tatunu. There's a reason I'm not a teacher. I cannot pronounce random names. He's asking for fate groups. Again, if I open up my map, you can see there's a fate over here, level 16. That's where you get experience, and then once you got into your Grand Company, that's where you get the Serpent Seals. There's 3 different Grand Companies, so it depends which one you're in. So that's why you would join those, and then you do them really quickly, and you can get a whole lot of seals really quickly doing fates. So those are just a couple quick things to do in the game. So far, I'm kind of liking the pace of the game. You know, there's quite a few things to do. You level up pretty fastly. I mean, that's not a real word. That's okay. More fast. Fastest? Okay, maybe fastly is a word. I digress. So I'm level 28, you know, and then I also have my level character. You can see I played a few other classes. I played Arcanist up to level 15 because once I hit Conjurer level 30, at that point, I can now become a white mage because a level 30 Conjurer and a level 15 Arcanist, you get a job. Basically, a combination of any disciple, basically any class at level 30 and another class at 15 gets you some kind of job, which is a more specified person. So the Conjurer, I'm kind of healing class. Becoming white mage makes me more of a healing class, a better healing class with more cool, awesome skills. Whereas, like, say, I've went with Arcanist up to level 30, I can level, Conjurer up to 15, which I'm already past. And then I can become, I believe it's a Scholar, which is another healing class, or a Summoner, which is a more of a DPS class. I've done pets low in this game, and I don't really like them so far, but we'll see how that goes. So that is just a couple quick things you can do in Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. I'm a fan of the variety of things you can do. It kind of gives you a little bit of option. You can level up doing dungeon grinding, Guildhests grinding, Leves grinding, just do quests, just do a whole lot of fates and knock them out. So you have a little bit of variety. You can, you know, kind of spice things up as you go along. You know, this is also the highest level I have by far, level 28. So it'll be a little bit more interesting. You know, once you start getting alts, how does that leveling going? So we shall see. Anyway, that is what I had to show you today, and hope you all enjoyed it. Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.